All right, welcome to myvelocitybanking.com, the site where we help you get out of debt faster by implementing the velocity banking strategy. If you haven't already done so, head over to our site, myvelocitybanking.com, and sign up for a free account. And then you put in your information, your income, your expenses, the debts you're trying to pay off, and it'll automatically calculate your cash flow and it'll give you a debt payment plan. So, what we're going to talk about today, as you most of the loyal viewers know, that we're always in the lab cooking up new things to help get out of debt faster. So today I'm going to bring you a new feature that we have just released. So this is the artificial intelligence feature. We have built some AI and some really strong algorithms into the application that will allow you to get out of debt faster by looking at everything that you input, and then the algorithm figures out the best approach and the best plan of attack, and then it prints it all out for you, and you can follow that plan, and hopefully you will get out of debt in no time. So I'm going to walk you through that feature right now and see how powerful it is once you enter in all your information. So once you get in, you have your account, you log into your account. Then you go in and you enter all your information. I'm just using a demo account here. So you enter your income and you enter all any expenses that you have. And the more important part is you enter all the debts that you're trying to pay off. So in this example, there's two mortgages. This person has mortgage one and mortgage two, and they have a line of credit. And of course, they have a credit card, a Bank of Montreal Black card, and then they got a Scotiabank Momentum card as well. So this is all their information. This is how much they owe on their mortgages. This is how much they owe on the line of credit, and this is their monthly payment, the interest rate, when the payment is due, and the frequency of the payments. So you enter all that information in there. Now here's what we've added, and this is what's new. You now have the ability to drag and drop the order of these debts. See this? I just clicked on any of the gray spots and just hold down the mouse button. You can drag it, reorder your debts. So you might want to pay this one off first, so you put that on the top, or you might want to put your line of credit at the bottom, and then you just reorder the order that you would like to pay off your debts. Now this one works for non-mortgage debts, so it's not you're not going to be able to drag any of the mortgage information. So for example, if you try to drag this, nothing's going to happen. It only works for the non-mortgage debts. Now let's say you've now ordered the debts that you want to pay off, and after all that's done and you put in all your information and you have saved it, I'm going to save it just to make sure. Then I go to Get Report. And Get Report, you'll see in Get Report this debt. So after the application analyzes your debt, you'll see that it's not in the order that you actually wanted to pay it off. And even here, it's going to tell you what you to pay off first. It's going to break down the chunks. You're going to start off paying off this Bank of Montreal Black card, and then the Scotiabank Momentum card, credit card, and then you're going to tackle your line of credit last. That's what this has figured out for you using the powerful AI and the algorithm that we've added. It figured out that based on every information that it knows and that you've entered, that this is the best and the optimal way to pay off your debt. So let's just scroll through it really quickly. Of course, it's the Bank of Montreal. You pay that. This Scotiabank one, you do the chunk payments and you go through it. Now, let's scroll right to the bottom after you've paid off all your debts. Let's fast forward in the timeline. So this is all your non-mortgage debt. So you'll have your non-mortgage debt paid off in about 7 years. Then after that's done, you tackle the mortgage. So now there's mortgage one, and this is all the chunk payments. And then we're going to scroll right down to the bottom of this debt payment schedule, and then there's mortgage two, so then you tackle that as well. Now we get right to the end. It's going to say this is how much you owe, which is the same amount as this, and it's going to say that you're going to be debt free in about 15 years, which is not too bad at all. You pay off $500,000 in about 15 years. Now here's the interesting part. If you look at the interest you paid, it's only about $13,000. That's because we have the AI turned on. Now, what happens if we turned off the artificial intelligence feature? The way that works is that you go into settings, you hit the settings button, and you scroll in right here. There's this new section called AI. So if you turned it off, by default it's on, so you shouldn't have to touch this if you want to optimize your debt payment schedule. But there might be a situation, I can't think of one, But they may be where you're like, you know what, forget what the computer says. I actually want to pay off these debts in order that I want. So you turn off this AI, you save it, and then you just go back to the to the debt payoff schedule. I'm just going to go back because when you go back, it'll automatically calculate it. So now it's actually going to pay it off in the order that you have dragged and dropped and the order that you said you wanted to pay it off. So the line of credit now is first, and then the Momentum's credit card, and then the Bank of Montreal credit card as well. You'll see the chunk payments is the exact same, but now it's going to tackle these debts not based on the AI or on the algorithm. It's just based on what you have entered in here. And so it's going to be the exact same thing. It's going to try to pay off the best it can. It's going to try and break it all down based on the information. And then we're going to see that your non-mortgage debt, it's probably going to take about the same amount of time. But here's the deal. Now you're paying more interest. So even though it might take the same amount of time, you're going to pay more interest because the amount of time that you took to pay off that line of credit is actually you're just paying interest on other things while you're paying off this line of credit. So after all that debt's paid, now we look at the mortgage. It's going to tackle the mortgage as well. So let's just get to the bottom, just like we did before. This time when you get to the end, the debt amount's the same, time's the same, but now look at the interest you're paying. You're paying $44,000 in interest with the non-AI version, and with the AI version, you're only paying $13,000 in interest. So that's the AI feature. So the AI feature is something where it figures out, again, based on the information that you've entered, the best and optimal timeline to pay it, chunk payments to make, and of course, all to try to minimize the actual interest you pay over the course of your debt payment schedule. So that's AI. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you like this video. And of course, get a free account, put in all your information and see what the AI says is not having the AI, and see what that impact is on your debt schedule, because everybody is going to be different just depending on the interest rates and the debts and the amount of debts that you want to pay off. Things are going to be different. So that's it. If you like it, make sure you subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more tips and tricks, and we're always rolling out new features to help you get out of debt faster. So I will talk to you next time.